Well, California's back on their bullshit again. Rest in peace, gaming. At least that's what it would look like if you're reading just the headlines. But I want to dive deeper into what's going on these bills so we can be informed on the matter. With that in mind, let's take a look at what's going on in California, Washington, Oregon, Vermont, and Hawaii with Title 20. One big factor to remember, these rules only apply to pre-built PCs. If you build your own rig, you have nothing to worry about. But for those who are looking at buying something pre-built to make it easier on yourself, some guidelines have been put in place for the companies you're going to buy your PC from. These guidelines are known as Title 20 of California's Energy Commission. Title 20's main goal is to reduce idle power consumption by 50% and improve the efficiency of systems without impacting performance. This is all planned to be implemented in multiple stages over the course of 5 years from 2016 to 2021. Yeah, this has been a thing for 5 years. Don't worry, we'll talk about that later. For now, let's define some stuff. And while some of us may be familiar with these definitions, it's important to see how the CEC defines the 4 recognized states of PC idling as well as idling itself. For starters, the idle condition is when the computer is in an active state and there is no user interaction, nor is there a given task underway. Now for the 4 idle modes. Short idle mode is when 5 minutes have passed after your PC has completed system boot, woken up from sleep mode, finished a task, or your last interaction, all while the primary display is still on. Long idle mode is the same as the short one, but 2 things are different. 15 minutes have passed instead of 5, and the screen is turned off, but the computer itself is still running. Computer sleep mode is when the PC enters a low power mode either by doing so automatically after a long period of idling or manually by a user. This state also allows the PC to boot up faster after interacting with a connected device or network-related activity. While in this sleep mode, the device is not considered 100% off since everything is suspended on the RAM, which is still drawing power. Computer off mode is when everything is 100% off. Straightforward? Nice. When it comes to long idling mode and sleep mode, these are baked right into Windows. 15 minutes of idle, the screen turns off, and after 30 minutes, sleep mode. A PC system seller like Corsair or iBuyPower should have no issues since they don't dive into Windows to change that before shipping out their devices. The part being regulated is the amount of power being consumed while a pre-built is in sleep mode. Remember, the goal is 50% less power consumption compared to where we were in 2016. Specifically, Table V6 in the Title 20 tells us the goals of sleep mode power consumption based on your type of system. If you are wondering where your system may lie at, here are the definitions from the CEC. All of our sources are in the description below if you do want to take a look at it for yourself, as they are with every video. Regarding the concerns pertaining to power consumption of sleeping devices, I don't see an issue here, and it seems no one else does either since I cannot find a single article or headline saying that this was problematic. So where does all the anger seem to be focused on? Well, the source seems to be related to Title 20's second mission statement, improving power efficiency of active computers without impacting performance. And how do we determine who needs to be more power efficient? With a score-based system, of course. Gotta shoot for a high score now. And just a reminder, this only applies to pre-builds. Long story short, the more powerful parts in your pre-built, the higher the score, and in the end, the more power the given pre-built can consume. This can be seen with the given table on screen known as Table V7 of Title 20. Bit off topic, but props to the officials who wrote this though. It's very straightforward and much more objective than some other point-based systems put out by other 3-letter government agencies. I mean, come on, they have even accounted for liquid cooling, not just water. Not only that, but the definition leaves no gray area. Stuff like what type of computer you have and what power state your PC is currently in is cut and dry. That's a thumbs up for me. Going back to the topic on hand, you may have noticed that on Table V7 there was no guidelines about pre-builts that have a score higher than 690. Well, these go-getters go into a special class of their own known as high expandability computers. These beasts, while not being limited when it comes to the kilowatts hour per year it's able to consume, still have some requirements. Before I dive into those requirements, I'll cover the other exceptions real quick since they have the same standards to meet as well. We're looking at small-scale servers you would see in a small business or home, mobile workstations, and regular workstations. All of these systems, as well as high expandability computers, all have to maintain 90% efficiency while under 50% load, the equivalent of an 80+ gold power supply. Energy efficient Ethernet functionality is also a must. Basically, Ethernet cable that does not consume power when it's not being used. And finally, the power management requirements, where after 15 minutes of idling, the connected display turns off, and after 30 minutes, the system enters sleep mode. A Windows staple as stated before. One small note for the idling requirements: small-scale servers and rack-mounted workstations are not required to have power management requirements. But what if the pre-built computer you're interested in doesn't fit into a given exception? Then they have to meet the kilowatt hours per year requirement of table V7. This is where the problem is, right? This is where our power-hungry gaming PCs go to die? No. But you may be wondering, what about Alienware? I've read that they're not available in California anymore. And you're right, but I cannot find another PC manufacturer who is having this issue. Corsair, iBuyPower, NZXT, Digital Storm, the list goes on, and I cannot find another manufacturer who's having the same issue Alienware is having. So it's not an issue with Title 20, it's an issue with Alienware being dumb and not preparing for this change, even though there was a 5-year warning as mentioned before. Hell, even now most Alienware Aurora R12 systems that were not compliant a week ago are now CEC compliant. And as for all the hubbub about gaming dying, it was just clickbait titles taking advantage of a horrible mistake on Dell's part to simply get your attention. Honestly, if Dell didn't shove their head into an egg cart and get egg all over their face, odds are no one would have ever heard of Title 20, and there never would have been an absolute mess about it. But I hope you've learned a lot about what's going on with Title 20 as well as the news. And if you think I've earned it, please hit that subscribe button. It does mean a lot. And we're shooting for 100 subscribers to get that custom URL. And sharing our content here at Tech for Thought helps a lot to achieve that goal. If Twitter is more your thing, check out our handle at tech_for_thought. And we also have an Instagram at tech_4, spelled FOR_thought. And you could take a look there as well. We're getting that up and running. But if gaming is more of your thing, check out our affiliate cultureofgaming.com for all your latest gaming news, reviews, and opinion pieces. I do thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.